Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to OverTheWire Bandit 11 through 12. And in this video, we're getting introduced to the translate command in Linux and ROT13 or rotate 13 basic encryption. And this is a really exciting time to be making a video on this. So before I get too much further, I'm going to do my spiel and remind you my name's Chris Ray. This channel here is called InfoSec for Humans. You can find me on Twitter, pretty active there. I have a website with all my old episodes and YouTube videos, plus a few blogs. You can find that at infosecforhumans.com. And then, of course, what's a call to action without saying, hey, consider subscribing here. I know the vast majority of you watching this video are not subscribers. You can always unsubscribe later. It doesn't cost you anything, guys. All right, so with that out of the way and getting my screen minimized a little bit here, there we go. We're now looking at Bandit 11 through 12. It says the password for the next level is stored in a file data.txt where all lowercase a through z and uppercase a through z letters have been rotated by 13 positions. And what I thought was really cool here is it tells you ROT13 on Wikipedia. And if you don't know what that is, when you click into it and you go there, it tells you it's a simple letter substitution cipher. Blah, blah, blah. ROT13 is a special case of the Caesar cipher, which was developed in ancient Rome. We're talking about some of the most basic encryption known to man, but it's really cool because a lot of encryption, once it gets going and starts encrypting data, it's really hard to keep track of. You have to have a solid understanding of cryptography to keep up with it. However, with this one, it's a fantastic introduction to encryption because it's pretty easy to follow along as it does its magic. So it tells you, because there are 26 letters, 2 times 13 in basic Latin alphabet, ROT13 is its own inverse, meaning using ROT13, you can encode data, technically encrypt, you can encrypt data, and then using the exact same operation, you can reverse that encryption. So we might call this a symmetric encryption algorithm. That's kind of applying a really fancy term to it, though. I mean, this is still just transposition cipher. We're just changing the position of letters, so I don't want to, call this encryption. But it does say at the very end, the algorithm provides virtually no cryptographic security, and it's often cited as a canonical example of weak encryption. Canonical meaning, according to the rules of encryption, this is a very weak encryption algorithm. So with that introduction to ROT13 and the TR translate command out of the way, let's go ahead and get in here. And as you can see, I've already logged in using the password that we got from level 10. I've logged into level 11 here. And I'm going to go ahead and let's ls this out. Let's cat it. And I can see there's a structure that looks kind of familiar. String, space, string, space, string, space. Looks like a password. However, I'm not even going to fake the funk here. Let's be honest, guys. When we're dealing with encryption, I don't think anyone should be making their own encryption. I don't think anyone should be figuring out how to decrypt data on their own. So I'm going to rely on some really smart people. I'm going to stand on the shoulders of other people. One in particular, his name is Chris Nadeau. He's got a great blog. Let me pop that up here for a second. Give him some credit where it's due. It took me a while to figure out exactly how to use the translate command to decrypt ROT13. And this guy, Chris, he has a fantastic write-up on it. It's concise and accurate. You can't ask for much more. But in here, he can tell you, using translate, you use this string after it. And what that's doing is it's telling the translate command to switch all of the characters 13 positions. And if you notice here, this seems a little more complex than it needs to be, but that's because of how the translate command works. And that's why we're going to leverage the work that Chris has put here, Chris Nadeau. We're going to leverage his work and go back to our terminal here and finish this one out. So we know that this is, it's encoded in ROT13 or rotate 13 characters. So what we do is we can't just, tr data.txt. Doing that, it tells you there's a syntax error here. What we need to do is we need to send data into the translate command. So in order to do that, up arrow twice, we're going to use the pipe command, which we've talked about before, to tr. Now I'm going to paste in that string that Chris put on his blog there. So now what we're doing is we're catting out the contents of data.txt, sending it into the pipeline to the translate command, and then we're going to apply this transform, or this translation defined after the tr. So the a through z, n through z, a through m, n through z, a through m. And it's going to rotate all of those characters 13 positions. So we hit this, send it, and it tells you the password is, and then blank, blah, 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 blah. But what I really want you to get out of this is not so much the use of the translate command, but a very simple introduction to algorithms, encryption algorithms. Specifically, this is a transposition cipher, or called the Caesar cipher. It's one of the very first ciphers that I believe humans ever used, and it's several thousand years old. But it's a really cool introduction because it shows you how data can be encrypted using something that's kind of easy to follow along. All right, there you have it, guys. Had some fun in this one, getting into some deeper waters here on the Bandit Over the Wire series, and I'm looking forward to the next videos. I hope to see you there, and I'll talk to you next time.